Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Redneckanize, the home of the do-it-yourself trucker. When everything goes wrong, you gotta Redneckanize. What's going on, truckers? And thanks for watching. Now, this week we just want to give everybody a little shout out going through the coronavirus shutdown, quarantine. Truck drivers are out there making it happen, and we just want to say thank you. And we appreciate everything y'all are doing out there. You know, the supply line's kind of hurting right now. It doesn't seem to me that there is a lot of movement of freight going on. Freight's kind of slowed down because so much of the freight is about production and consumer. And of course, you know, when people aren't shopping for, you know, items that they don't really need, then there's not a lot of trucking going on. When people are not producing a lot of major things that, you know, can't be done. I mean, you're talking about drivers moving, you know, bricks and lumber and steel, that kind of stuff. You know, it's got to get moved, but we're not really sure if it's that they're, you know, not producing as much because they're slowing down because of the quarantine, or if they're just, you know, trying to keep everybody safe by not producing, or if there's just not that much of demand. But that's what we're seeing out there. Is there's a lot of carriers that are kind of cutting back and shutting down because their primary deal is they might run flatbed where they haul a lot of heavy steel, and they're not doing that much right now. Or a lot of theirs is like retails from certain shippers from the ports, and of course a lot of the ports are going through a lot of changes right now. You know, a lot of your major areas that are affected are these metropolitan areas that have large ports. And, you know, when people are worried about the spread, well, of course they have to stay home. And even though they might be essential for the economy, they're not really essential for, you know, healthcare or food or whatever. So, you know, a lot of things slow down. So, you know, we got a lot of truckers out there. So if you're in the area where you're being pushed or anything, just don't, my advice is don't be pushed. You know, I've personally never been in a situation where I've had to drive tired. If I've ever been tired and I've said that I'm tired, I've called in to my dispatch office and I've told them I'm tired, I can't drive. They've never told me not to drive. So if you've got a carrier that's telling you, you know, you got to drive, the freight's got to move, it's high priority because it's some kind of special goods or something, you know, well, if you're tired and they tell you to drive, well, they're breaking the law. You cannot be forced to drive when you're tired. So just always remember that. And to me, my personal opinion, even with the hours of service kind of being lifted or whatever, you know, you still have to document that you went against the hours of service and the reason why and all that. And they want documentation. And because it's still only essential services, it's only essential items that you're shipping. So, you know, if you've got a load of TVs, they're not going to let you break the hours of service. You know, that's how it works, you know. So, my opinion is don't try to break it. Don't try to go against it. You know, if you're tired or if you don't feel that you're needed to do it, then don't do it. I mean, in my opinion, I'm just like all the other guys out there. You know, the government has all these rules for drivers, hours of service, and you know, in the time that they need the freight moved, they suspend the hours of service. Now, wait a minute now. I thought that this was supposed to be about safety. So if it's about safety that we should be restricted about how many hours we can drive a day and how many hours we have to sleep a day, if we're restricted to that based on safety, well, then why are we not doing that? You know, I mean, right now you've got Walmart shutting down at 8 o'clock every night and not opening back up till 7 in the morning because they're worried about safety, and they're cleaning their stores so that they can take precaution with, you know, the virus going around. So, you know, if they're doing that stuff for safety and they're shutting down and preventing truck drivers from shopping at midnight because that's when a truck driver is able to shop because that's the only time he can get in the parking lot, well, then why are we being forced to say, hey, you know, you don't have to drive the hours of service, you can just drive whenever as long as you're hauling essential goods? That just doesn't make any sense. You know, we have team drivers out there that are doing excellent work with getting down the road and getting freight delivered. And I mean, they're moving nonstop. And being a team driver, they drive, the other one sleeps. Even then, they need to stop and refresh the batteries, get a shower or whatever. And that's even being restricted somehow because, we've heard reports that some truck stops were closing the showers because they had to clean them. So you got to take time to worry about when you're going to be able to shower because they have to close down the shower so that they can properly clean them. The truck stops have people nonstop, especially the big ones. They nonstop, they clean the truck shop showers. They clean the showers. Every time somebody uses a shower, they clean it. And they go in there and wipe everything down. They put new stuff, new towels and refresh everything. And they wipe everything down and clean it and spray all their little cleaning stuff, all that. So if they're making sure, they have to I guess maybe they have to have somebody else double check the work or something. And they're making sure that stuff's being cleaned and everything. Well, then, it has to be done. I mean, we do, it's not fake. Okay. I've seen it out there. There are people out there that have problems and we need to take precaution. So everybody get out there and let's let them take care of that and let's be safe. I just want to say that I appreciate everything the truckers are doing out there. And I hope everybody's keeping up the good work. The one thing I'll tell the drivers out there is this is our time to shine. And although we probably don't get as much recognition as we should get day in, day out when something like this ain't going on, it's one of those things where we're not the type that says, well, now you might have to sit there and wait for me to just take action. No, we're going to do it safely. We're going to do it properly and we're going to do it right. And that's what we're going to do. And we're going to get out there and we're going to get the job done. Now, there's other disruptions. There's a couple of news reports that I've seen where the supply lines are being disrupted. Maybe the stores aren't getting delivered as quickly as they would like for them to be. And they say that the products are made and ready to ship. They just can't find drivers. I don't agree with that at all. I think that there's the freight's out there being moved. I think that there's a lot of supply chain warehouses that cannot take this massive surge of demand. Any driver out there will tell you that delivers any type of grocery items to a grocery warehouse. They are massively inefficient and understaffed. They are always delayed. I mean, I haven't delivered to that Albertsons warehouse on the south side of Fort Worth in a long time. But I mean, you're talking about 8 or 9 years ago when I would deliver to over there on the south side of Fort Worth. Trucks are parked up and down the side of the road. Okay. I mean, you're talking about 2 or 3 different streets where there might be 20 or 30 trucks on each street waiting to get to their appointment. Now their appointment was set at 7 or 8 in the morning and they don't get in there until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I mean, we were all sitting there, had the CB on one day and the driver comes down the road and he passes right by me and you hear him holler on the CB, y'all get out of my way. I've got a 7 o'clock appointment. One guy comes back and says, driver, we all got a 7 o'clock appointment. So that's those places have never been efficient. They have never been in a hurry. You go to some places and they do all right. I mean, even down here in San Antonio, we've got HEB warehouse over there, and it's probably the nicest that I've been to. They're really polite and they really try to get you as quickly as possible, but there's still 2-3 hour wait sometimes. It all depends on what you got and if they've got a door in that particular area to go, and it's that area, it's so they've grown so big and so fast in the small amount of time that they run out of room and they have to build warehouses in different parts of it. So you go to a gate on this one street and they say, well, we need you in warehouse D or whatever. And you got to drive down the block and around the corner and go to this other warehouse down the street, down this back alley. And that's where they have to take that product, and it's a bunch of different stuff that's got to be done like that. This here is going to be going on for a while. I think it's going to go another 2 weeks at least before we start seeing any kind of like, okay, we've seen enough. Let's get back to it. But the trucking out there ain't stopping. We're moving good and we're doing our best with what we got, and we're staying safe. That's what we want to do. We want to stay safe and we want to stay productive and we want to stay essential. and we appreciate everybody out there showing their support. We love it that people are going to truck stops, passing out hand sanitizer and different stuff, packages of food. And got, like they put a paper bag with a bunch of goodies inside of it, and they sealed the bag up, and then they give it to the driver wearing gloves and everything. So, they're doing their best, and that's great. We love that. We love that kind of stuff. Get out there and show support. Places I saw fix some sandwiches for some drivers at a truck stop, and hey, that's great. We love that stuff. We love it. We can get out there and do more of that, and we just hope that everybody keeps it up throughout. And like I said, drivers, let's keep it up. Let's keep it up. Even when this is over with, let's show them what we got and keep going. Like I said, stay safe. I'm just so full of pride with the job that I do out here on the road. It's amazing to me that I'll do a job where they make movies and write songs about, and I love it so much, and I love trucking. So we love you drivers out there, and take care, be safe, stay sanitary, stay clean, and don't be afraid to let us know and give us a shout if you need anything. And we appreciate everything y'all do. Keep between the ditches out there, and we'll see you out there on the road.
Messages like these are possible thanks to generous contributions from Load to Ride Transportation. Please check them out at www.onestopfreightways.com. That's Load to Ride Transportation. They are transportation. Thank you, LTR, for supporting Redneckanize. Redneckanize, common sense solutions for an uncommon world.